Hey, welcome! Today, we're going to dive into a couple of really cool philosophies for finding a little more meaning in the simple, everyday parts of life. We're talking about the power of giggles and, believe it or not, the surprising wisdom of toast. So let's jump right in. It really all boils down to a basic choice. In pretty much everything you do, from the most boring chore to your biggest life goals, the source material says you're facing this exact decision. On one side, you can just go through the motions. But on the other, you can choose to do it with giggles. And honestly, as the author puts it, is doing it without them really a choice at all? Now, when we say giggles, we're not just talking about literally laughing out loud. Think of it more as a metaphor for an internal feeling, something that's already inside you, ready to bubble up, even when things get tough. It's about making a conscious choice to bring a little bit of joy and presence to whatever you're doing. So, what is this power exactly? Well, the source describes it as something innate, something we're all born with. It's powerful, it can even be healing. And what's really important here is that this doesn't mean you're not taking your work seriously, not at all. It's all about finding that balance, aiming for excellence while still having some fun and just being present in the moment. This whole giggle mindset kind of naturally leads you to start thinking about time, right? When you start bringing more presence to your actions, you can't help but value the moments they're happening in. And the source material is really clear on this. Time is the one thing nobody escapes, so every single second has to count.
And this quote, wow, it just perfectly captures the whole idea. Just think about that for a second. No small moments. That means every breath, every little conversation, every single task, it all has meaning. The author suggests that if we could ask the people who came before us, they'd all say the same thing. We owe it to them to cherish every single second we've got.
And that question just brings it all right back home, doesn't it? It's a direct challenge to us. Are we taking a second to share a giggle? Are we just taking a deep breath for the sake of it? It really forces you to pause and think about your own relationship with this incredibly precious time we're all given. And here's where another layer gets added in. You see, cherishing our moments isn't just something we do inside our own heads. It's meant to extend outward. The author writes that sharing some kindness is like adding sugar to honey. It's just a beautiful image, right? It takes the sweetness that's already in life and just makes it that much richer, for you and for everyone around you. Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do we actually do this when we're buried in emails and to-do lists? Well, the answer from our second source is surprisingly simple, and it all starts with the power of toast. And no, we're not just talking about breakfast here. TOAST is actually an acronym. It stands for all those little things that make up our days. Totally ordinary, average, standard tasks. I mean, what a brilliant way to reframe the mundane stuff, right? It gives a name to all those simple, everyday actions that we so often just completely overlook. Let's just break this metaphor down a little. It all starts with bread, something basic. It represents potential or maybe even life itself. Then comes the heat. The heat is all of life's pressures, right? The challenges, the things that can feel so overwhelming. But as the source points out, that heat has awesome transformative properties. It's what turns the bread into toast, a real, tangible result, an accomplishment. So this whole TOST philosophy totally flips our idea of what it means to be productive. It's not about creating some huge culinary masterpiece every single day. Nope. It's about finding that amazing sense of accomplishment in the beautifully simple. This line right here is really the heart of the TOAST mindset. If you get just one ordinary thing done, that's a productive day. It's such a radical act of self-compassion, especially in a world that is constantly screaming at us to do more, be more, achieve more. I love how this table lays it all out. We're so often aiming for that culinary masterpiece, but the reality is that just making TOST is a victory in itself. And the takeaway is just so freeing. Even if you burn the toast, you still went through the process. You still did something. You still accomplished something. And you can really see the effect this mindset has. When we're always chasing perfection, our sense of accomplishment can feel pretty low, pretty infrequent. But when we learn to celebrate and actually be grateful for every single piece of toast we make, well, that feeling of accomplishment becomes a steady, daily part of our lives. And here's a wonderful little detail to hang on to. Some days, you're going to have the energy to go that extra mile, to trim the crusts, as the author puts it. And that's awesome. But that's not the standard. On most days, the simple act of just getting it done is more than enough.
Okay, so let's bring these two really powerful ideas together now. When you combine that Giggles mindset with the toast philosophy, you start to build a genuinely fulfilling way of looking at your everyday life.
This chart shows it so beautifully. A joyful life isn't just about those huge goals way off in the distance. It's mostly made up of how we approach our ordinary tasks, the presence we bring to the small moments, and all the little acts of kindness we can sprinkle throughout the day. And here we have it, the perfect summary. Such a clever play on words that just ties everything together. We reach our biggest dreams the same way we eat a meal, one bite, or in this case, one bite at a time, all by celebrating each small, ordinary task along the way. So, to wrap this all up, here are the core ideas to take with you. First, just remember you always have a choice in how you approach things, so choose to do it with giggles. Second, really cherish your time because there are truly no small moments. Third, let's redefine what success looks like by being grateful for our daily TOAST. And finally, embrace the process. That heat from life isn't just pressure, it's what actually transforms you. And that leaves us with one last really powerful question to carry with us through the rest of the day. Just take a second and think about it. It doesn't have to be big or impressive, just one simple, ordinary thing. What toast will you make and be grateful for today?